Hey all and welcome back to the HellfireComms playthrough of the wonderful 101 Remastered. It seems like not the best time to be shopping when there is a legitimate crisis alert right now, Rich.
Yes, there is a very legitimate crisis, but you know, I might be able to get a tool that's going to mean that I can do things better. So, you know, it's worth it in the long run, but I couldn't, so we're just going to get moving with it. And I do like that we do effectively a massive loop around the world and then end up right back at Blossom City, but it's obviously a very, 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 very different version of Blossom City because it got bloody fucking destroyed.
Yep, I do enjoy returning to square one in a video game when you're... You start powerful, you become depowered, you return a champion.
It's very sort of typical hero's journey stuff, but obviously we are at that moment where everything has gotten really dark, the villains are winning right now, and yeah, if they hack that mainframe, we're all dead.
It's humanity's trump card, you overcooked french fry. Our antimatter particle cannon.
Ah yes, we still have our own magical mystery gun, Rich. They will never see this coming.
Well, I mean, they're trying to hack it, so they sort of do see it coming, but, you know, if we manage to sort of sort it first, then we are able to use it and be awesome, and honestly, I can see the amazing things that we could potentially do if we could get our hands on that comet.
I mean, it only shoots, right?
Well, exactly. So, you know, we'd do amazing things.
It could shoot, or it could shoot, and, you know, option 3 here, it could shoot.
Roger.
I can see Wonder Toilet, I can see Wonder Beer, I can see, I'm just kind of like scrolling my eyes over the group here, Wonder Pirate.
Yeah, I think Wonder Punk is there as well.
Hell
well,
yeah.
They're all there, obviously, because they have to be.
I'd go fucking crazy if they showed up in the next Spider-Verse.
Figures they'd hit us now.
Must be something important to make you come all this way, Earthlings.
You give Luca back!
Yeah, Luca went of his own free will. Like, no one hypnotized him to do this.
Exactly, which, you know, little bit awkward, and we are going to, you know, drag him home kicking and screaming, and that will be fine, but yeah, the kid really, really, really needs to learn what the hell's going on.
Oh no.
Your precious supercomputer is but a house of cards.
I'm still wondering, like,
Slightest breeze.
was there an incident in the past that incited their rage instead of the other way around?
You won't get away with this, kid.
I'm just gonna keep stum on that one.
Because I've been wondering this throughout the little bits and pieces of the lore we've been getting throughout the game so far. I promise you guys, at this moment in time when we're recording, I have not completed the game. I play the chapter we're about to record, and that's all.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say,
Unite up.
wait until you finish the game and you might get the answers you're looking for.
Okay. So these levels aren't particularly long at all. This is a fairly standard operation, all things considered, you know, it being the end of the world and all.
Like we were sort of talking about in the last, well, in Operation 006 with reusing assets, this is the type of reusing assets that I think works really well.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it's taking something that you know and you recognise, but completely shifting how it's used. Yes, these are buildings and stuff that you will recognise from the first 2 operations, but obviously everything is shattered, it's all lifted into the air, your way of getting across things is completely different, the enemies you're facing are completely different. It's an awesome way of returning to something and making it fresh, but also really showing the danger level here. Like, during those first 2 operations, while things were getting destroyed, we very much felt like we were in control.
Absolutely.
And now it's like buildings are hanging on the side, of bits that are just hanging up in the middle of the air.
Oh.
Oh yes, Wonder Death. The Grim Reaper is a wonderful one.
Not sure about that, although the Grim Reaper is not a bad guy. He ushers people to the afterlife. I don't think he, like, kills you before your time.
We have a pretty good number of level 4 wonderful ones hanging about. It's just, you know, the Wonder Guns and the hammers, and it's all the late game wonderful ones where I've really not got the the levels up yet.
I'm once again ashamed, me standing at the pulpit having to give a sermon about how wrong I was. I forgot to climb once more.
Oh, Tom.
I'm sorry, okay? This is one of the least used main things in the game.
He was in such bad shape we didn't bother posting darts. What was the
The
point?
positive on that one is, if I recall correctly, after 008, you never have to use claw to climb anything other than potentially an enemy or two.
Alright, I just want to point out, this is not the game's fault at all. I am holding my hands up and saying I am an idiot, okay? If the game had forced me to use this a bit more, maybe it would have sunk into my little pea brain.
I love Wonderful 101. I will extol its virtues all the time. I will champion it. There are certain things that I do think it could have done better. The main thing that I know sort of really did fascinate me when it originally came out, it did, I think, in the end get better reviews when it was re-released. But when it originally came out, there were a lot of people who gave it bad reviews, and when you sort of looked at it, it was just like, this is a bit of a skill issue rather than you actually having a bad time with the game. That was frustrating to see, because you had the one I remember the most was IGN. They're such a weirdly inconsistent lot, that lot. Sometimes you get a really good review that's really solid and does a really good explanation of why a game is of a certain quality, and other times they just sort of seem to make the most random of decisions in terms of where something's going to stand.
They do. There was the whole thing with a certain musical themed game that I shall not name here. They got a 10 out of 10, and I'm like, okay, I haven't played it. Maybe it's a 10 out of 10. I doubt it though.
Yeah, I mean, the ones that I will always 100% hold against them was when Sonic Unleashed got a lower score than Sonic 06.
I remember that, yeah.
Say what you will about the some of the decision making that went into Unleashed. Say what you will about whether those were sort of the right moves. There is no way on the face of this planet that it is a worse game than Sonic 06. You might like it less, but that's on you. It is not a quality thing.
Well, I mean, technical wise, it was being held together by string at the time.
It was, but it was pushing limits, which you can't say that 06 was.
Yeah, I guess so.
You get things like that, and yeah, if I recall correctly, in the original Wonderful 101 review that IGN did, there was just a lot of going, oh, I struggled with this, or I struggled with that. I think people now get games that take this approach a bit more, because you've got the Dark Souls, Elden Ring effect of you've got hard games that punish you and force you to learn their patterns, and that's part of the way that they're made. And obviously Wonderful 101 works slightly similarly in that sense of it is expecting you to learn, and it's not going to hold your hand, but I think because it's wrapped up in a slightly more child-friendly visual, I don't know whether that had something to do with the reason why things just did not align in terms of the grace that people were willing to give it.
I think there's some truth there, maybe on a subconscious level, maybe we're just projecting, who knows. There is something to the whole people don't mind challenge. I think it's just that they don't like their time being wasted.
100%, and yeah, I think it was just in many ways it was ahead of its time when it came out, but also it's hitting such a niche that I totally get why it did not sell mega numbers, because I mean there was no way it was ever going to.
No, it's like a superhero Pikmin game. Pikmin on its own I really enjoy because it kind of goes at its own pace. If you were to up the speed of Pikmin by about 100, which is what Wonderful 1 basically is, I would start to have some problems with the game design.
And that is okay, because they do ultimately work in very different contexts. People are weird when it comes to dealing with anything that they don't like. They're also weird when it comes to dealing with things they do like. I don't know what it is with fan culture, because it seems to be getting worse. I mean, it was always bad back in the day, but there's certain bits of it where people just seem to have just gone off the deep end more consistently in terms of looking at things and going, if I don't like a thing, it is the worst thing that has ever existed. If I do like a thing, it is perfection and nobody can say anything bad about it. I just like, the reality is, most things have flaws, most things have things that are positive about them. You're allowed to like what you like. Can we not just try and enjoy things?
No, because there is clout to be had, there's, you know, a grift to be done. That's in the most extreme things. That's not just people making fun of a thing they don't like. I want to be very clear about this.
It's like you're allowed to have a fun ribbing of something. Like, it's not saying that you can't mock things. It's just saying that, yeah, for some reason people have just sort of slightly lost their mind. And, I mean, it's where you sort of can get into... And I'm not going to go deep into this. You see the sort of same in the way that the political landscape is right now.
Thank you for keeping it brief, Reggie.
Yeah, people have sort of lost their minds slightly, even though there's really no need to, and we could just sort of have adult conversations about things.
Yeah, let's leave it there. And honestly...
Yes, that was indeed where I was going to leave it.
That could go to either end of the spectrum. I'm watching both of you. I think I just said spectrum. Like, is this a political room somewhere in the Neversphere?
Oh, yes, this is one of the things where you do need Wonder Rocket. If you Wonder Rocket from that particular platform, that is a Hero Heart fragment.
How are you ever supposed to know that's there?
I don't know. Magic. I mean, you've obviously first off got to realise that you can send a Wonderliner up the side of the building. Then you've got to realise jump on top of the blocks, and then it's bonkers. But hey, it's a really clever hiding place, even if it's mean.
Well, I think even Insomniac would be like, calm down, dear. You're taking it a little bit too far. P-Star is very aggro in this stage. You know, not for nothing. We are in super-duper world-ending crisis mode.
Yeah, he's just like, right, come on, move this way. That is the way we need to go. But then I'm just like, no, we've got secret missions to go find, and I've got to backtrack to find the bloody things.
Oh, this is just contrived on a story basis.
We are in a bit of a hurry in terms of the narrative. But equally, most of these fights are just quite fun. I mean, they do throw out, obviously, some of the more challenging enemies at you throughout the course of it. Mm-hmm. But I think there is mostly a nice balance in terms of the enemies they throw at you, how many they throw at you, the size of the arenas. It just feels like the right amount of challenge for where we are in the game, whereas obviously some of the other iterations that we've had of fights have just decided we're just going to throw something that is particularly mean at you rather than it being decent.
And at the end of the day, it's an optional fight. I don't mind if you pump up the jam, difficulty-wise, so to speak, if it's something I would have had to opt into to begin with.
I'm really making use of hero time in this fight, aren't I?
You sure are, mate. Could you imagine being like in the middle of a fight? Let's just imagine us in a boxing arena for this this little example here, and your opponent goes to punch you, you dodge slightly to the left, and time slows to a crawl.
Mentally, if that had never happened to you before, that'd be freaking terrifying.
Oh, I see you're approaching me, but now you're back at the bottom of the stairs, even though you were just in a boxing ring.
It would be an interesting thing to go through.
Like, would you still be fully cognizant, like, in the middle of the slowed time? Or would you basically just, like, zone out and zone back in, do you think?
I mean, this is where you're getting into the complex discussions of physics and other bits of science, and I am not an expert enough in that to be able to offer any valid discussion.
It's okay, I'll dumb it down. Pee poo 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 fart. There we go, back on the level now. Yeah, get owned.
I mean, I still, you know, ended up with almost fully losing a bunch of wonderful ones to having to put up with this thing, but it's alright, because I am really doing a nice job at switching up which Unite morphs I'm using. Now, one of the things that there is a bottle cap for is you get one for using, I want to say it's 10 different Unite morphs in a single combo.
Right.
A combo is however long sort of your point total stays on the screen. Once it's sort of gone ding, you that's the combo done. But whilst you're racking up points, that counts. So you basically just need to keep using attacks, and you generally get there. But obviously, it does mean that you've got to throw in some of the much more challenging shapes like bowgun and bomb and hammer and so on as you're going through the fight.
I accidentally activated bowgun during a fight, and I think it was this level actually.
Uh-huh.
It was okay.
Yeah, it's all right. It's an interesting weapon that gives, obviously it's a bit like gun, but I believe that it's a bit more powerful, but I think it also slightly charms the enemies, but it's definitely not my favourite one to use, but it does what it needs to do sometimes.
Oh, it's our friend the crab.
Again, I just enjoy styling on the crabs. They're just fun.
No, we're over here.
Yeah, it's just like you're not going to succeed very well if you aim in that direction.
Is it true that crabs can only move sideways?
I do not know.
I'm just reminded of that one Ricky Gervais joke where a mate of his supposedly put a crab in a pint of beer and it moved forward.
I can understand where the concept came from, and also I'm loving that I'm bringing out the bloody glider and not the fist that I'm trying to draw.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I don't know where that idea of crabs only being able to walk in side to side came from, or whether it is a real thing or not. I'm now going to have to Google whilst I'm destroying this particular crab.
That's okay. I will do some impressions of Krabby while you just, fact check. Cookie cookie, cookie cookie cookie, cookie cookie, cookie cookie cookie. You found it, yep?
Yes, so, I mean, obviously this is the joy of Google AI, but it's at least pulling and sourcing this information. So, crabs can walk more than sideways.
Okay.
So, most true crabs, like ghost crabs, fiddler crabs, do rely on a sidestep because their leg joints bend outwards. There are many species that are perfectly capable of walking forward and backwards.
Ha.
So it's like they probably prefer to walk sideways, but they don't exclusively have to.
Well, there we go, chap. Myth busted. Wow, nicely handled, mate.
Yeah, it went alright. Could have been a bit faster, could have taken a bit less damage, but you know.
You took maybe like a smidgen there.
Yeah. And now I have to draw another shape.
Oh no.
I know, I'm doing terrible. I'm just like, for God's sake, it's going so well. And then the second I try and finish off the shape, I balls it up. I feel like I'm just getting worse as I go. Hey! Thank God for that.
That's what it takes to be infinite. Oh, you cheeky bugger.
I know. What a sneaky place to hide something. Also, another very sneaky thing to do is that you've got to jump onto that thing to blow you up into the air. And then there's another hidden mission if you run backwards from that, but you've got to have jumped onto the bloody fan first. But I do believe that actually if you jump onto the fan and jump onto the platform, that is actually the end of the operation if you land on it.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it's a bit of a sneaky one of to get that Kakurai guy, yeah, you've got to just touch the edges of where you're like going and then leg it back.
Ah, two of these guys.
But thankfully, yeah, this isn't too horrendous because it's just a pretty standard fight overall.
Well, what's the name of that move where you hold the thing and it increases the mass of your wonderful attack?
Oh god, I can't remember the name of it, but just think of it as like a Unite Charge type dealio.
Okay.
I know there is a move that's called Unite Charge, but whether that is that, I don't know. There's certain ones where I can just be like, yes, I remember the name of that one, like Unite Spring, Unite Drill Spring, Guts, Spiked Guts, Camp. We haven't seen Camp because it's stupidly expensive, and whether it's technically worth it. It's worth it if you are really struggling with retaining health in some of the more challenging difficulties, because it allows you to restore health, but actually, yeah, doing it and paying for it is bloody expensive.
That was tasty.
Yes, I was quite proud of that particular run.
I was saying, the red and black there just kind of put me in the mind of Mr. Incredible.
I'm intrigued to see how The Incredibles 3 will turn out.
Thank you for following that train of thought, because that was going to be the follow-up to what I was talking about there.
I'm glad I managed to pick up what you were throwing.
Thank you. Down we go. It's okay. Me jumping from here to the next platform, I fell through.
I can understand how the perspective is just a little bit off for figuring out that landing.
We're not quite done yet. There is one more fight separating us at the end of the level.
I want to make sure that I am making use of some of our other wonderful ones, because we've still got some levels that we can gain, and while I'm not sure whether we will get a full health bar by the time we've actually finished, we're obviously going to get as close as I can physically get in one run of the game.
Haha. Here we go.
Yeah, that's... It's just mean, it's like the Wonder Mark's just there.
Nope.
Yeah, come on, Wonder PC, you show him who's boss.
Booyah.
I do love it when you manage to pull off a sort of a mass armor removal. It's very satisfying.
Is that just completely RNG as to which piece will actually be pulled off?
I don't think it's entirely RNG. I think the bigger your whip, the more likely you are to be able to pull off the full armor.
Right.
So I think it's dependent on the size, but obviously how much damage and all sorts of other things. But there we go. 008A, done.
Bada bing.
I think that went rather well.
Yes, I am quite happy with that. Oh.
Splendid.
Beautiful. Alright folks, the crisis has not yet been averted, so please join us next time when Operation 008 of the Wonderful 101 Remastered continues. Bye for now.